A lot of people are under the misconception that people who are in temporary status enter the country illegally. And let me just explain something to you. Temporary status is not entering the country illegally. If you enter the country illegally, you're not going to have the right to go to a court hearing. People on temporary status voluntarily turn themselves in at the border at a specific place, and then were vetted by the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. Now, a lot of times, most of those people end up getting deported right there and then. A few of them are allowed to stay in the United States, and they don't get a free plane ticket. Their family member here in the United States has to send them a ticket. I've got those calls where your family members are in El Paso, Texas, or whatever. You got to send them the money, and if you don't send them the money, they get deported. So let me just clarify you guys on a lot of misunderstandings, because I know people that have been through this process in and out. And let me tell you how it actually works. These people were vetted by U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, so they didn't enter illegally. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol had the option to deport them, or the federal government could have kept them. They decided to keep them and give them the opportunity to have a court hearing, usually about a year away. In that time period, in about 2 or 3 months, they'll get their work permit. So the federal government gave them the opportunity to a court hearing so that they could put their case in front of a judge, and they gave them a work permit, okay? And they're also able to get their driver's license in that period. So let me be clear. People under temporary status did not enter the country illegally. People under temporary status voluntarily turned themselves into Border and Customs. The federal government vetted them, allowed them to stay in the United States after detention, and those individuals had the opportunity to go to a court hearing. I know individuals who went to the court hearing, got their residency, and today are U.S. citizens. So temporary status is not entering the country illegally. Temporary status is how many people who are U.S. citizens right now entered the country. The federal government vetted them, allowed them to stay, gave them a work permit, and gave them an opportunity to go to a court hearing where they could get the residency and become U.S. citizens, and many people went through the process, are U.S. citizens today. So don't be confused. Now, as of right now, that protection no longer exists, okay? Thus the name temporary status. It was a temporary status while determining their court hearings. Now, that doesn't mean that people who have temporary status are not illegal now. People who have temporary status now becoming illegal. But that doesn't mean they entered the country illegally. They entered the country the right way, a way that led to U.S. citizenship for a lot of people. So, yes, their status could become undocumented, but that does not mean that they entered the country illegally. They entered the country by turning themselves into the federal government.